Hi, welcome to my channel Simplify Concepts. In this video, we'll be talking about capital structure, trading on equity, and the concept of leverage with the help of a detailed numerical example.
So capital structure basically it is the combination of debt and equity which is used by the business to finance its long-term operations. So we start with here long-term operations. Long-term operations means that for meeting any long-term finance needs, any business want money, and that money you can get in the form of debt or you can get it in the form of equity. So the combination of both of them, debt plus equity, that is termed as capital structure. Now, what is debt and what is equity? Debt means the source of fund on which you have to pay interest, and equity means the source of fund on which you have to pay dividend. So here let's use an example here. So in the debt you can say we can have debentures. Then on debentures you have to pay interest. You can have loans. So any kind of long-term loans you can take and then you will have to pay interest on it. So they will come under debt. Now what about equity? Under equity we will have equity share capital, and under equity share capital whenever we issue shares we have to pay dividend on them. So therefore equity means the equity share capital basically. So whatever money is used by both of them, when you combine both of them, they will be termed as capital structure. Let us just take a simple example. Suppose a company is planning an expansion project. That means a business wants to expand itself, and for expanding, it wants 50 lakh rupees. So in that case, suppose you have decided that we are going to arrange this finance 10 lakh as debt and 40 lakh as equity. So this combination of 10 lakh plus 40 lakh equity, this is termed as capital structure. So I hope you've understood this capital structure. Now see, the impact of capital structure. The capital structure of the business affects the profitability and the financial risk. Now what is profitability? Profitability means the ability to earn profit, the percentage of profit which you are earning. So that is the profitability. And what is financial risk? Financial risk means suppose you have to pay a very high amount of interest. So in that case, if you do not have profits in your business, in that case, you will not be able to pay your interest then. So that is what you mean by financial risk. Now, in order to understand this concept of financial risk better, let us understand the concept of leverage. Now, what is leverage? Leverage, when we talk about leverage basically means the fixed cost. The fixed cost which is used in the business, that is termed as leverage. Now, there are two kinds of fixed cost which can be used in the business. So we can have operating fixed cost and we can have financial fixed cost. What will come under financial fixed cost? Under financial fixed cost, we will have interest which we have to pay on debentures or loans. And under operating fixed cost, whatever fixed expenses are related to the operations of the business. Like for example, suppose you have to pay rent of the factory. So that will come under operating fixed cost. So whatever fixed cost a business has, all those fixed costs ultimately they will have an impact on the profitability of the business and the financial risk. Now what is the problem with fixed cost? The problem with fixed cost is that it has to be paid irrespective of the profit or loss. Suppose your business is earning profit, then also you will be required to pay fixed cost. And suppose if your business is earning or having losses, so in that case also you will have to pay the fixed cost. So that is the problem with fixed cost. So therefore, it is good to have fixed cost, but if it is more than a particular limit, then it will not have a positive impact on the business. So let me just explain all this concept through a numerical example. And before proceeding towards the numerical example, let us first understand this flow of calculation, which is important in all the numerical questions which are there related to capital structure. Here you can see sales. So whatever is the amount of sales, we will subtract variable cost from it, and then whatever value will be obtained, that will be termed as contribution. So let me just put some arbitrary values here. Suppose the sales amount is say 100 and the variable cost is 10. So then after subtracting this, what will be the contribution? This will be 90. So whatever value is remaining, that is termed as contribution. Then from this contribution, we are going to subtract the operating fixed cost. I told you there are two kinds of fixed cost, operating and financial fixed cost. So we are first subtracting the operating fixed cost. Suppose it is 20. So after subtracting this, whatever is the value, that is 70. So this 70 will be termed as operating profit. We can call it as operating profit, or we can call it as EBIT. Now please remember, this EBIT concept is important. EBIT means earnings before interest and tax. So this is the value of EBIT. Now from this value of EBIT, we are going to subtract interest. Now what is interest here? Interest is basically our financial fixed cost. Financial fixed cost and operating fixed cost. We have two kinds of fixed costs. So this we have subtracted here, and this financial fixed cost we are going to subtract it here. So suppose this financial fixed cost, that is interest, is say 20 again. So we will subtract it and we will obtain 50. So this will be termed as EBT. EBT means earning before tax. Now from this, suppose your tax percentage is say 50%. So that means tax will be deducted on this 50. So 50% of 50 will be 25. So this will be 25. So this is your EAT. So EAT means earning after tax. Now after calculating EAT, then we will be required to calculate the EPS. EPS means earning per share. Basically, what are we trying to do? We are trying to find out the earning per share. Who are the owners of the company? Shareholders. Especially the equity shareholders, they are the owners of the company. And we are trying to find out that owners are getting how much earnings. So this is calculated through EPS, earning per share. So earning per share will be calculated as earning after tax divided by number of equity shares. So this is how we will be calculating the EPS. Now the calculation which was mentioned here, I have just mentioned this calculation again here in a nutshell. You can see from the sales, subtract variable cost, you will get contribution, then minus operating fixed cost, you will get EBIT, then you subtract interest, you will get EBT, and then you subtract tax, you will get EAT. So ultimately our objective is to find out EAT so that we can calculate EPS, that is earning per share. Now let's take a numerical example to understand this. Now there is a company and it wants to finance its operations, and this is the basic information which is given in the question. The company has equity capital, that is equity share capital, 5 lakh shares at the rate rupees 10. So this will be 50 lakh. This will be 50 lakh, right? And the company, that means the company want 50 lakh rupees, and it has raised those 50 lakh rupees by using equity capital, and the company is not interested in taking any kind of debt. So now, what is the amount total? What is the amount of total capital or equity plus debt? So this will be 50 lakh, that is equity, plus debt. Debt is 0, it is not there. So the total is 50 lakh. Apart from this, the information regarding EBIT is given in the question, that is earnings before interest and tax is 7 lakh, and the tax rate is 30%. So this information is given in the question, and now we are supposed to calculate the EPS. So how are we going to do it? See, EBIT is given. As you can see here, That means in order to find out EAT, EBIT is given in the question. So we can start directly calculation from here. So from this EBIT, we will subtract interest and then we will subtract tax and we will get EAT. So EBIT is 7 lakh. See, this EBIT is 7 lakh. Interest is not there. Why? Because there is no debt. We have not taken any debt from anywhere. So therefore, there is no interest. So EBT is 7 lakh rupees. Now from this, we are going to subtract tax. The percentage of tax is 30%. 30% we are going to calculate on 7 lakh. This will be 2,10,000. So we will subtract tax from EBIT. We will get 4,90,000 and this is the value of EAT. That is earnings after tax. Once you obtain the value of earning after tax, we can easily calculate the EPS, earning per share. How do you calculate? The EAT value, that is 4,90,000 divided by the number of equity shares. Now in this case, number of equity shares are 5 lakh. It was given in the beginning. So we have just divided and the earning per share is 0.98. This is one situation. Now, if the same situation, it can be represented in a different manner. Suppose we want 50 lakh rupees and now this time we have decided that we are going to use equity capital as 40 lakh. We are going to use equity capital as 40 lakh and debt as 10 lakh. So interest on debt, the percentage is 10%. How do we calculate interest? 10% of 10 lakh. So 10% of 10 lakh will be 1 lakh. That means since we have taken debt, so we have to pay interest on it 1 lakh rupees. Now what is the total amount? The total amount equity in this case is 40 lakh and debt in this case is 10 lakh. So it will amount to 50 lakh. So the total will remain same, but the capital structure is different here. That means the amount of equity and debt is different. Rest of the information is same. EBIT is 7 lakh and tax rate is 30%. So let's make the same calculation again here. So EBIT is 7 lakh. Now interest we have calculated above is 1 lakh. EBT will be 6 lakh. Tax 30% of 6 lakh, which is 1,80,000, and your EAT will be 4,20,000. Now let's calculate EPS. EPS is EAT value, which is 4,20,000 divided by the number of equity shares. Now in this case, your number of equity shares, as you can see here, they were only 4 lakh. So therefore, while calculating EPS, we have divided it by 4 lakh. So your earning per share is 1.05. Now let's take another case where 50 lakh is the requirement, but now we have raised it in a different manner. We need 50 lakh and we are using equity capital only 30 lakh and debt as 20 lakh, right? We are using debt as 20 lakh. So interest on debt, let it be 10%. So 10% of what? 10% of 20 lakh. So we have calculated 10% of 20 lakh as 2 lakh. Now what is the total of equity and debt? Your equity is 30 lakh and this time the debt is 20 lakh. And as you can see, the capital structure is different. The mix, the combination of equity and debt is different, but the total is same as 50 lakh. Rest of the information is same. Rest of the information is EBIT is 7 lakh and tax rate is 30%. Now let us again calculate this. So EBIT is 7 lakh. Interest we have calculated is 2 lakh. EBT 5 lakh. Then we are going to calculate tax on this EBT. So 30% of 5 lakh will be 1,50,000 and we will subtract it and we will get the final value of EAT, that is earnings after tax, 3,50,000. And now we can calculate earning per share. How? What is the formula? EAT, that is 3,50,000 divided by the number of equity shares. And this time, in this case, the number of equity shares are 3 lakh only. So if you divide it, the earning per share will be 1.16. So So what is the difference in all these three cases? As you can see, the mix, the capital structure is different in all these three cases. Here we have 50 lakh equity plus 0 debt. In this case, 40 lakh equity and 10 lakh debt. And in this case, 30 lakh equity and 20 lakh debt. So there is a difference in the capital structure in all these three cases. And we have calculated the earning per share. So see, so this is the summary. In this case, debt is nil. We do not have any debt. Then we have increased debt. Then we have further increased debt to 20 lakh. Now what is the impact? See the impact on earning per share. In this case, earning per share was 0.98. Then it increased to 1.05. And then it has further increased to 1.16. What does it indicate? It indicates that as you keep on increasing the amount of debt in your capital structure, the earning per share will also increase. But this you must remember that it will increase to a limited extent only. And this concept is termed as trading on equity. So trading on equity, or you can say this is termed as financial leverage concept. So what does it say? That if you use more debt in your capital structure, it will bring more income for the owners. Owners means your shareholders, right? So it will bring more income for the owners in the capital structure. So this is what the concept of trading on equity is. So I hope this whole concept must be clear now. Thank you so much for listening to the video.